think personally, I'm not a person who shops out of town. About 50% of shopping dollars, we're told, goes to either Ottawa or Montreal. We have to convince people that the benefits of shopping locally. I mean, I know a lot of people in this room are supporters of minor sports. Look, go watch any minor sports in this town, and they're sponsored by local businesses. Local businesses are willing to do that kind of work because the return on them is their business or their product is advertised. But at the same time, they do it to attract business and show that they have local support. And the onus is on, not on the city to convince you to shop locally or put in some kind of rules for you to shop locally. The onus is on you to shop locally. Okay.
Where's one sec? Or a minute, actually. Practice what you preach and lead by example. I'm a firm believer in that. I'm lucky I work for a company that we sponsor several community agencies. A lot of that responsibility on what we do falls on my lap. I help make the decisions, and I'm proud to do that. And what do we sponsor? We sponsor local community projects. In turn, yes, we do get the advertising out of it, and obviously there should be something for us in it down the road, but at the end of the day, you've got to support those who support you, and encourage others to do the same, and lead by example. That doesn't mean I will never shop out of town, but I'll be sure if there's a widget I want, I'm going to try and get that widget here as much as I can. I will scour the city for it. If I have to go out of town, I will let people know, hey, you got to get widgets in. Next time I need one, the widget's there for me. That's what you got to do. Lead by example and support those that support you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Shopping locally and staying locally is very important. And being involved with nonprofit agencies, our small businesses give over and over and over and over as donations back to this community. And as part of City Council should be shopping locally when it comes to awards.
Thank you for the question. I sit on the DBIA and I often worry, although there's been some great improvements in the downtown and DBIA, I worry about what's going to happen when the big box stores come in. Although we want them, they're going to bring new assessment, and we may need to decide what we're going to do with that new assessment. Should we then take some of that new assessment and direct it specifically to developing our downtown and the village? That's an interesting point. The other thing we need to look at is our purchasing policies. You know, we've talked about revamping our purchasing policies so that they include a local component, an environmental component, the triple bottom line that Councillor McDonald was talking about. So I think we really need in this term to take a good, strong look at our purchasing policies. Thank you for the question.
Actually, I have a two-part answer to this, so I have 1 minute and I have to make it very, very quick. First of all, our highway presence. Has anyone drove between Montreal and Toronto? We need to improve our highway presence to bring people into the city to spend locally, because really, it's not exactly the best in Eastern Ontario. Second thing is, all I've heard about out-of-town contracts, going out of town, it's the RFP process, like request for proposal, it's the tendering process. Change the process. We need to change the process to make it easier to promote local spending. If the process is a process.
Well, I'm part of the demographic group that has gray hair and a lot of idle time, at least friends of mine, and what they do is, unfortunately, shopping today is across the internet. There's more friends of mine that shop on the internet than they do locally. And you know what they can do? They can get it shipped to a shop over in Messina, and they go over there, get it, and they come across the border, and they've never been stopped. Never. So they buy there all the time, whether it be tires for cars, etc. And I try and lay a guilt trip on them, and they just look and say, hey, that's money in my pocket. So there's no loyalty to the commercial base in our community anymore. I try and lay guilt trips on them, doesn't work. So we have to look at the downtown BIA and the village. They have to look at strategies like they do in northern New York to say, come on over to Cornwall and find out what we can do for you. They need to do these strategies as well. City Council can only do so much. It's up to the business to do it as well.